Patrice Porter, the gardening grandma here. And for our Natural Solutions Masterclass series, I want to take a look at what gardening can teach you about calm, energy, and healing. Every year, something begins to shift. The days grow longer, the sun feels warmer, and deep inside, something starts to wake up. But for many of us, life feels overwhelming. We're constantly busy, always connected, always on, and our bodies never truly get a chance to rest. We drifted away from something important, from natural rhythms, from quiet moments, from the simple act of being present. But there is a way back, and it's simpler than you might think. Nature doesn't rush. It doesn't overwhelm. It simply grows in its own time. When we step into the garden, something begins to change. We slow down. We breathe. We reconnect. And without even realizing it, our nervous system begins to reset. There are 3 simple ways nature restores us: grounding, rhythm, and presence. Touching the earth brings us back into the moment. Nature follows steady, calming cycles, and we can too. You don't need a big garden. You don't need more pressure. Just start small. Even 5 minutes can make a difference. Step outside, take a breath, touch something living, notice what's growing, and pause. In gardening and in life, it comes down to 3 simple things: prepare, plant, and be present. You don't force growth. You create the conditions and allow it to unfold. When you begin to reconnect with nature, something shifts. You feel calmer, more energized, more like yourself again. And it doesn't stop with you. Gardening brings connection, sharing food, sharing moments, sharing life. You don't need to change everything overnight. Just begin. Step outside, plant something small, slow down. Because when we care for the earth has a beautiful way of caring for us right back. Now I want to look a little deeper and ask some questions like, what happens to your body and mind when we spend time in the garden instead of on the screen? Well, just think of that moment when you step into the garden. You're greeted by natural light, living greens. I love that fresh green of the spring, the smell of the soil, flowers and herbs, the sound of the birds and the wind instead of that sound of notifications. Your breath, it just unconsciously slows down and your shoulders drop a little and your attention shifts from what's next to what's here. You want to know what's going on. And there's studies when they study green spaces and things like gardening therapy, it shows that being in contact with plants and soil, it can lower your cortisol, that's the primary stress hormone, or reduce your blood pressure. It can improve your heart rate variability, which is a marker for your nervous system health, decreases symptoms of anxiety and depression. I know when out in the garden, I can just let away, uh, everything just kind of fall away and forget about things that were stressing me. And when you touch the soil, your body encounters some beneficial microorganisms, and you'd be surprised how they might influence your mood and immune function. There's been studies that say when you get your hands in the dirt, it releases serotonin, which is known as your happy chemical. And I know lots of people think of their garden as their happy place. And gardening engages all your senses, the sight of the greens and colors, and it helps to soothe the visual overstimulation. The smells of the plants and soil activates the brain region linked to memory and relaxation. Feeling of the earth in your hands is grounding to your body. And the sound of the wind and bees and birds, it retunes your attention away from that digital noise. And the sensory immersion, it tells your nervous system, okay, you're safe. You can slow down now. And how is it that touching the soil, plants, and being outside helps us feel calmer and less stressed? Well, to me, gardening is just like a meditation practice as you quietly tending your plants and, you know, rhythmically planting those seeds and observing what's going on. And it's this form of embodied presence that supports a nervous system regulation because your attention is anchored into the here and now. And the mind has a break from ruminating and worrying. And your body experiences coherent rhythmic activity like walking and watering and raking. And that naturally soothes the system. And why is food from the garden often healthier and better for our energy than food from a box or that fast food? Well, gardening offers the opposite to that fast food, processed foods. It's something that's sustained and gives you real energy from real food. So when you're growing your own food, even if it's just a little bit, you're tending to grow things like leafy greens, fresh herbs, vegetables, fruits. And these foods, they're high in vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, rich in antioxidants that protect your cells, free of additives and that ultra processing. It's real foods. And here's something important. The moment the vegetable is harvested, it begins to lose some of its nutritional value. So when you pick that tomato and lettuce from your own garden and eat it that very same day, you're getting the most freshest nutrient-dense food possible. And so it is that gardening nourishes you twice in the act itself, which calms your system, and then the food it provides fuels your body at a very deep level. So if somebody just has a small space like a balcony or a window, how can they still have a garden? Well, it really doesn't matter about the size of your garden to get the benefits. You can start with just a pot of basil or some mint on your windowsill, or a tomato plant in a 5-gallon bucket, throwing some basil in around it, or that salad pot I talked about with some lettuces and herbs and salad pickings. or even a raised bed, or see if you can find a community garden and have a plot there that you can visit regularly. Or just some microgreens on a tray on the counter. That's a little instant mini garden. And if you've got a real small space, look to see um, vertical gardening, using that upward growth instead of outward, or stacking garden where you're stacking pots so you utilize the area upward. You want to make sure you've got enough sunlight for your plants and a watering source. And one thing about plants in containers, they're going to need a little bit more watering. So ensure you've got the proper size pot for your plants. And if the bigger you can have it, the better. And just be vigilant. Ensure that it gets all it needs as it's contained in the pot. Now, in a world that's obsessed with outcomes, gardening, it invites you to value the process, that time outside, the movement, the quiet, and the gradual relationship with the plants and even your own body. Now, let's look at one easy gardening activity you can try this week that could make you feel more relaxed and full of energy. Well, gardening, it's not just about tending your plants. It's tending your energy, cultivating the conditions of your own healing. While you're out in the garden, you're reminding your nervous system what it feels like to be grounded, steady, vital. So how do you start? Start with one small act of participation. Choose a plant that you would like to grow, that you like to eat, whether it's some herbs or, again, that salad pickings, cherry tomato, and find yourself a container in a nice sunny spot, plant it up, water it, and visit it every day. And when you do check on it, check in on yourself. How's your breath? Can you feel your feet on the ground? Can you give yourself 5 minutes to just be here without your phone? And let the plant's slow, steady growth be a reminder to you that you're allowed to grow that way too. So it's about creating a place, no matter how small, where your nervous system can breathe, your body can be nourished, and your mind can rest.